You know, he's got a lot of lockdown. It's a lot of extra amplification for even something like a volley bear, as we've seen in the past.
Oh, there's a wry smile.
And
there it is.
Oh, good call, Atlas.
Yeah, don't worry. I've cast me a
Ahead of the
Lehens
curve.
game before, you know? This has happened once in a yeah, he's peak keen. I am scared for Canna. If it's not, it becomes more difficult. We know that, you know, Lee Sin's been... And you hope that it's just going to work. And this is exactly the plan happening right now as Leo's the target. Immediately he cleanses to try and get himself out of the way, but he's burning down. Has to flash in the end as Lehens... He's just happy to help his minions out, trying to push this one forward, and it looks like Leo's going to have to go back.
4 summoners for 1. All based off of the Halo Blades and that position that they had in the brush that unfortunately Lehens and Leo walked right into. He is going to have to go back. No summoners, massive lead here, and Lehens is like not safe either, by the way.
Yep, there's the flash from Carrier. Immediately they lock this one down, and Lehens just a little bit too far forward. Does have himself the bop and block.
Level 1
is going to be all right.
Level 1 taking a lot of damage from that turret, but...
I mean, Gumayusi and Carrier are now extraordinarily low, but they get a free back now, because they get to throw this turret, this best
ward, yeah.
This totem ward, indeed. Owner is up here. Does have the Rift Herald as well, as that's a Nara into the wall. Keen may die also, and he will. Canna tanking up the turret, and now they might even be able to kill this on the next wave as well. This is a disaster. They're going to help them with that one as Fly moves on down. We might actually have a team fight.
Moonfall almost off cooldown here for Owner.
Yeah. Leo's got his, but the Glacial Fissure goes completely wide, and that is going to be the Drake locked down. Owner goes golden, but is he actually going to survive? This is the question. Realm Walk comes in. Keen actually finds it. Off towards the backside. No flash, but no worries by the looks of things. Moonfall doesn't do enough damage there. As you can see, Lehens getting thrown around. The heal does come out. The Yuumi is dead now, though, as Leo, at basically full health. Fly gonna have to try and get out of there as Faker gets into the brush into relative safety as the flash out from Leo, but Gumayushi's trying to catch up to him. In the meantime, Keen's killing everyone else.
On the previous series, usually it's on the Herald where this happens, but we're going to go way back in time and watch this.
Yep.
Which was just simply, he didn't know, Owner was here, Moonfall was good, follow-up CC from Kana. Now, this fight is really desperate. Like, Owner actually dashes here once he hits the Q, I believe, on the Drake, gets the free dash, but he's not able to secure the smite. Then he has to use his stopwatch. So that's a huge loss for him early, and then has to flash over the wall, and Keen's like, yeah, I can follow you, I have a ward. And then on the other side of the fight, things are going very wrong here. Yes, the Lehens does go down, but you just don't have the sustainability in this fight anymore as Keen's rotating back over. He got a free kill, and now he's back for more.
Yeah, and Leo, like, if this was later in the game, the Aphelios would be scary, but he just doesn't do that much damage right now. So he was left until last. Unfortunately, it was a solo Nara ultimate onto a Yuumi.
Yeah.
So he's waiting in this brush, as you can see. Carrier takes a bit of damage from him as the Rift Herald is looking to break down this outer turret in mid lane.
Kana's timing on his Narbar is pretty perfect to come over here with this flank. He's on the bottom part of your screen, exactly. This time, he's going to have to hope that is a bigger set of CC. They're just going to give this up, though.
They're going to get a double charge, though, and I think this is 100% worth it for T1. Sacrifice the Cloud Drake. You don't really mind just one Cloud going over to anyone. It is Cloud Soul, but if you can create enough of an advantage, and it just doesn't matter that they're on Soul Point, especially because it is the Cloud. As
it's a double turret.
They break the inhibitor turret. They decide, oh, they're going to get the charge here as well. Oh, I would have thought that Afrika might want to actually get that one killed.
Leo.
T1 misses out on all the gold, but that's fine.
He might be in trouble here. Kana is going to be able to get that Nara up.
Yeah, how do you navigate this? He's decided to invest his flash. Keen's like, nah, mate, I am not. Not this time.
He's looking for Guma.
Oh, Guma in trouble towards the backside. He safeguards to get himself out of there, but
we do have a Baron take here. I was going to say Fly actually has to carry this game now. That's the point I was leading to. They cannot stop this Baron.
Yeah, this is just a free Baron. So this is just Afrika deciding to stop. They're just not really doing very much video gaming at this point in time, and they're ready to do something. They have a Collector on their Aphelios.
Teleport coming through here for Kana. He is going to be in position to look for this fight.
Yeah, and Afrika Granduans as well.
Afrika, like, just kind of missing out on all their tiny windows of opportunity here, unfortunately. It's just too little too late to decide now is the time to look for a team fight. Dread dies so quickly if he goes in.
Yeah, okay, Dread does walk forward, but doesn't take too much damage. Carrier flashing on top of Leo. Misses the ult, though, as there's the run warp into the backline. Great kick out onto Owner, but they still manage to take down the Aphelios, and now there's so much damage missing from this fight. Fly is going to get a decent shockwave, but it's too little, and it is way too late. Faker flashes forward on top of Dread. He's going to go golden, so he can see his death for a moment. He's got a Yumi, so he might be able to zoom his way out of this one. And will be able to do so.
From Lance, he's like, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Oh, this one I think has just it's flown away from Afrika. There's no way back into this game.
Well, Keen gonna dive on in, so Carry is well and truly dead. Owner goes golden as Rise turns up. Faker decides that it is the end of the Afrika Freaks for this game, and they will take down these Nexus turrets. Leo, he's going to respawn, but I don't think you're allowed out of your fountain, and if you do, the Crab Rave will be upon you as T1 take down the first Nexus of the series, and they do it in style. T1 just obliterated the game, and it just continued to get out of control. As we saw, it was 11 minutes in, and then T1 never really relinquished the game at all.
It was such a this low damage game. Look at the damage across the board.
I mean,
there were no fights.
Did the most damage on his team.
Yeah, and Kana did the most damage for T1, but as you could see with that white bar, most of that was just hitting Keen in lane.
Yeah.
There was just not really any straight up team fighting. Very low kill game, very low team fights, low damage, and a free. Outside the Jin Zhao, right, and the Thresh, like the Zoe, the Aphelios, and Tristana can be an extreme carry for Afrika. There's so much power across several parts of the map. So if one part goes wrong, the rest, you might have, two others that can go right.
Yeah, this is extremely squishy, though, for Afrika. Like, they...
Happy to have Owner getting his back, right, making sure that the early game goes their way. And that's why the Volibear pick, at the end of the day, even though it is kind of
pretty extensive champion pool.
And here we go, Dreads going topside.
Yeah, we're looking to try and take down counter that Nabar extraordinarily low. As there's the dive on in. And, okay, Keen just going to grab it. Gets out of the way of the turret. Doesn't use the rocket jump for damage.
So he's getting chipped down. So you watch this one more time, you could see that at the same time, this is a perfect early rush up here before the scuttle. So right now you feel as Kana like, okay, he's probably scuttling. And meanwhile, Volibear is doing the same. So he just skips scaling engage tools, right? Like,
yeah,
it gets awkward. Okay, they're going to collapse on Kana again.
Yeah, going to look for this one, and now they've brought even more support as Lehens comes down. They're going to grab a plate. In the meantime, it's a decent hop as all of the buttons get thrown out. There's the flash. Rocket jump comes forward and will be very helpful for Afrika, right? If they manage to get the soul, then it's like a way for them to kind of have a tank, right? Because everyone gets kind of tanky.
Exactly, and especially into the Varus chip damage that they're going to look for.
Yep. If T1 get Ocean Soul, though, I don't know how Afrika wins this game.
That's a scary argument when you have the Gnar and you have this Volibear too. Okay, they're going to look for something here.
Walking on in, Carrier did move over, does have his flash available once again, is now Keen. Gonna have to try and, gets the buster shot, kicks him away, is Carrier. Gonna get flashed on by Dread. Oh no, did he hit the ward that one time? No, it doesn't even matter. It is going to be the kill as Fly flashes forward and picks up the kill on Gumayushi. Fly's about to fall down as well. As we check out this play one more time.
Yeah, this is just really aggressive stuff here from Afrika. And yeah, Carrier does hit the slow. But, this is a really extended exchange. And guess who shows up? It's Fly. And Dread actually makes all of this happen. Because he has a fantastic knockup, does use his ultimate here. And then Fly threads the needle, gets the ignite off, boom.
Yeah.
It's a 2-kill here. You can see the coach is extremely happy with this performance.
Yeah, having a look at Spirit.
The map than just turrets, right? They're getting these streaks now. It is going to be the Ocean Soul, which is really important for T1 to secure. But like this Tristana pick is so oppressive.
Yeah.
Insta drop on this Rift Herald here, and that's going to be another turret. And Kana actually might have to get out of here too.
They have very little that charge. Not going to be able to taxi the Rift Herald any further, so should be surely falling to the Mega Gnar. There's Dread behind the wall. Pull out the Wolves. I believe they spot that ward, but Carrier, is he out of position far enough? He doesn't. He does have flash. As Gumayushi is going to be able to find the ulti there onto Lehens under the turret, but Afrika don't seem too worried about it. They just take down the turret. They're going to move on with their business. 4 turrets to 2 now. And then, of course, Kana comes in with a decent Nabar, and then everything's good. Looks like Afrika, they've decided that they want to start fighting this one as Dread. He's going to get snared. Ulti comes through, and Ona just flashes on top of him. Hook connects onto the volley there as Dread's going to flash away. The box does come down. Realm Warp going to be aborted here by Faker.
And they are in a kind of an awkward spot, T1 are, because they can't actually get to the Drake easily now.
Well, maybe they just don't care about it, as that's a huge Gnar into the wall. That is the jungler, and T1, they might just say it's time for Baron.
That's a Baron opportunity right there. Hey, you can't get to the Drake, but if Dread's going to stand there and you have vision, that's been the biggest issue for Afrika in this moment, is just no vision.
Whoa, that paddle star damage was insane! All right, Fly. He's definitely at his wheat picks this morning. As Kana taking a lot of damage here from the Baron, as the rest of T1, they're going to disengage.
Without all those health bars going low and it only being 22 minutes into the game.
Yeah, there is a lot of damage, like you mentioned. Leo's not here, though, so they don't have the Aphelios to try and help, and his weapons aren't exactly the greatest for taking down the Baron, but it's down to 5k anyway, as Faker's going to Realm Warp his way in. That's the hook that's going to connect onto Kerio, who immediately explodes. Keen gets himself his first reset as Gumayushi in a bit of trouble. Keen just gets himself back when things get a little bit too worrying. Buster shot to get rid of the Mega Gnar. Keen honestly just won that by himself, and that was so sick.
I mean, Keen is winning this game by himself in every regard. He's 2-0-2, but he's got his 3 items. Gets the explosive damage done there to blow up just one single target. Once Carry is out, it's a 5v4.
All right, and now he's teleport flanking on the Tristana.
Here we go.
This is kind of cool. They get themselves some vision. Kana taking a bit of damage here as the rocket jump effectively. Offensively, sorry, as Faker's just dead. Leo's going to be able to lock down that kill. Another great hook to come through from Lehens.
But he can lock players down, and we have seen that. But it's really just the burst damage that's the biggest problem here.
All right, Ona, now's your opportunity. He does have the ult. He can get himself into this pit as Dread's going down very, very low. Kana, decent Nabar, but he is able to get that little fadeaway jump shot, like it, with the boomerang. And Afrika deem it too dangerous to go for the Baron. So once again, we have a bit of a stalemate.
Yeah. They just need to make sure that they don't let T1 get away with taking this too quickly. They're going to keep some vision over here. Fly's going to stay. T1 are going to try to race this down, but there is vision. So Afrika know about this, but can they get back in time? That's the question.
Yeah, they're going to try and burst this one down. We're playing tag with the Baron right here as it's down to 6k. Fly moves on in there. Let's see whether he can actually kill anyone. Looks like the answer is going to be no, as T1 will be able to get the Baron. Now can they escape? And the answer is absolutely yes, they can. As the ult comes out from Ona, he's going to play it safe. Well, Kana does have that hop available. He can get over that wall. They do spot out that Afrika are doing the Baron. As Fly getting himself out of the way. That was a fake flash as the Baron's down extraordinarily low. Ona is inside the pit. He goes into stasis. He can't smite there, but he is able to smite immediately after getting out as Kana gets to Mega Gnar at exactly the right time. The Chakrams were doing so much work. They sacrificed the bear, but T1 gets their second Baron.
Highway robbery here for T1, and now they're going to go and rush down this Ocean Drake or Ocean Soul point.
That's ridiculous. They were robbing one bank, and they teleported to the next bank and stole that one as well.
It's not fair. Yeah, this is a game where Faker is still 0-1-0.
He's 0-1-0 with 350 CS. Like,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. As Ona goes in, and remember, you can't smite when you're in stasis. And so as soon as he's out of stasis, 24 health, and he gets the smite.
Yeah, Dread just missed it.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate there, because that's going to be so huge. Like, if Afrika gets Baron, they might be able to get multiple inhibitors here as we watch this happen in real time.
Back.
He's like, I got it, get out.
Get
out, leave. He's going for this long wraparound onto Faker. Flies here. Can they grab him?
They find a lot of damage there as Keen. He can rocket jump over.
He's going
to do so, absolutely. And boom goes Faker. Immediately, the rest of T1 are going to back away, and that is so much time and space bought. Okay. Now they need to try and siege in onto this turret. That's where things get a little bit more difficult, right? Keen's level 18, so of course he does a lot of long-range damage. Has Chains of Corruption connecting onto Dread, but he takes a lantern to get himself to safety. A lot of poke damage raining on through here as now Ona's thinking about his opportunity, whether or not he has it. The hook is going to deter him for the moment as the Moonlight Vigil comes down, but doesn't do a whole lot of work.
Kana's not going to get anything out of this Gnar. That's really unfortunate. Once again, he's just going to be struggling to have this insane engage tool at the right moment because he's just so stuck under this turret. so defensively.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep throwing these boomerangs through as Leo's taking a fair bit of damage there. Has Severum, of course, is okay. The ulti out from Owner is now. Faker's trying to trade it with Keen. He does have the GA, remember, but Faker doesn't, and he's just going to explode. Canna going to follow suit. The damage from Afrika is just gigantic with the poke. Is starting to rain down. Goodbye, Fly. He just immediately evaporates. Canna now has that Meganar almost back available, but he doesn't have a Volley Bear.
He doesn't have a team.
Yeah, Afrika doesn't. They don't need a team. They just need Keen, right? Can they actually get some minions to get underneath this turret, though? Because,
the answer is yes.
Oh my goodness, this is so dangerous. Gumayusi, he needs to land poke, but I just don't know whether they can stop Keen from tearing these turrets apart. The autos are so scary. Flashes forward to Varus, explodes. Canna's dead as well. And Wolf, we are going to game number 3. 43 minutes in. And Afrika wins the game. It doesn't really work. And you can see the Varus damage was really high, but everybody else just wasn't really.
Have Cryo. And it's a very similar idea to what we saw in the last game. Not going to be as amazing at blowing up turrets, but it's going to be really good at controlling those early team fights around the Rift Herald in particular, especially on the top side of the map there when those group ups do happen.
Yeah, and look, also still kills turrets very, very well.
Yeah.
But the thing that I love about this is that normally you look at like a top jungle 2v2 and you're like, oh no.
Lose this draft together.
I think the biggest one for me is Fly playing
LeBlanc
against
against
Faker.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, if Keen had Flash, Canna would be dead, but thankfully, it did come towards the top side and stopped that one from being a reality.
Keen, is he going to try to stop this? No, it will be Dread who does that. He sees it immediately. He's like, oh no.
Yeah, we're going to have to use some Mist pretty effectively, but it's not actually going to do anything. That's First Blood so easily.
And look at where
Dread.
Owner is. He's just a few seconds behind, right? He was coming up. He knows this threat is possible, and now he's just going to be on wave hold duty.
Yeah.
I guess not. This
is
just moments before, because if he had Flash, he actually does kill it. But you get a little bit overconfident, right, in these moments. You get a little bit overextended. Like, this is a huge minion wave. Like, this is a mistake from Kana to think that just because Keen doesn't have Flash, you can actually play this out, especially when you're a level down because you lost all that minion wave. Yeah. Then he just, unfortunately, gets run down here. He does get Dread's Flash in return, but you're very happy with getting that first blood.
Starting to look pretty crazy.
This is really hard for T1 to win if there's a group up, but they catch Fly. That's more than half of his health bar gone here. So maybe this is actually doable now because Owner has done so much damage to the Herald already.
Faker gonna flash before Dread's able to get that kick through as in goes Fly once more, but now doesn't have the distortion, finds the mimicked version. As now Fly, with that fake version of himself, is able to get himself out of the way. Leo's here and in position as Shelly is going to reset. Canna, who's moved on over. It's going to be okay. Keen's at full health, though, and he is a giant. See what they can actually do. The culling is available. Severum, the Crescendum and the Calibrum are up here for Leo, so we can do a lot of long-range damage. Canna now trying to get snippy, and they landed onto their hands. The Super Mega Death Hook comes through, and the ulti from Leo is not going to land. T1, they group up and get the job done. Gumayusi with the double. They understand that they need to be as secretive as possible as Carrier doesn't put up the door. And now Dread finds his way in, finds the Q. He wanted the kick, flashes for it. As you can see, Keen gets exhausted. Dread safeguards to get on top of the Lucian. And now the rest of Afrika, they dive in on top of Owner. They're able to grab that kill. Dread very close to falling down, and they save Afrika's top side outer turret. And a little bit inopportune.
Too early.
It's certainly... Okay, Leo going to get blocked there by Dread. Really nicely played just to make sure that the Aphelios is going to be fine. Hook is going to connect onto the Rift Herald as it's taking a lot of damage. Does eventually get the charge as Canna's rotating around. The turret keeps itself alive for a little bit longer as Carrier is going to go in. They take a bit of damage from Keen.
They're actually looking for more. This is extremely greedy from Afrika.
The unseen Lucian is the deadliest as Faker's going to rotate up. Dread's going to find him. There's the kick flash. Actually avoids the piercing light damage, so slightly unfortunate there as Carrier gets in there and they immediately get rid of Dread. Faker's going to be okay for a little while, but the Moonlight Vigil will be able to lock him down.
Which is actually really good for both teams. As we watch this one more time, Faker is pretty aware, but unfortunately he's just not able to save himself. The kick is kind of awkward, and Faker buys a ton of time with that stopwatch, so they do end up trading this onto Dread. Really great block once again from Carrier, who's had a fantastic game, and it's Leo who's the one who's able to finish this off with the Moonlight Vigil. But
don't really want to get these team fights happening. Want to utilize that range advantage as Dread Coming on up here is there's a blast cone, and okay, Keen and Dread are going to be absolutely fine. Relentless Pursuit is going to get Keen to safety, and T1 unable to get on top of them.
Yeah, just one ult traded for 2 here for Afrika.
Gets himself out of the way.
The arc that's set up here for Afrika is really nice because they can not only, threaten to collapse in, but they can also just rotate over to Baron if T1 do commit, and that's exactly where they're headed right now. Look at this one
game
ward.
number 2, Afrika just hate Cloud Drakes. They do not want to take them. They lost the game because of it last time. They're not doing it ever again.
That
Afrika
one ward
is a unit trying to get over here. The Drake is taken by Faker, but he's got Realm Warp, he's got Teleport, he's got a lot of ways that he can get through. As Kane gonna get snipped, he's stuck inside, but he's still able to click the Lantern. Snips come forward. They do manage to take down the Lucian, and then immediately Canna goes golden. But look at this Aphelios damage. He's doing a lot of work. You saw Ona threw down the Subjugate. That was onto Leo, so that's going to get him some health back. But they do manage to make their way out of there as Afrika Fly off to the side. Is going to get slowed down, but will be able to keep himself up for the moment.
I mean, just that one kill onto the Lucian gives so much pushing power to T1. They want this inhibitor. They're going to get the turret at least here. They know Fly and Dread are on the flank, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop them. This should be the inhibitor going down.
Yeah, Lance has now put the Lantern on cooldown as well. As they do manage to get the inhibitor. Fly looking for an opportunity to get in. The mist does go down. The distortion.
So we're going to jump back in time. This is a tense moment to watch a replay. But this is going to be the catch onto Keen as he tries to look forward. He's trapped inside the pillar, takes the Lantern, but the damage numbers are still too high. And I really want to know what's happening in live because it's extremely critical whether Afrika set up for this
I have
or
a
not.
feeling they're not doing it because otherwise we may have snapped back or at least had a look.
I'll see where we are.
Well, a lot of things just appear in that pit as Dread is going to get the kickback onto Faker. Now we've got a teleport to come through. Let's see whether they can actually get this. He does have the Zhonya's complete as Fly gets out, but Keen, he's not going to be so lucky. He's stuck in there. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes off the kill as Realm Warp is going to come through as well. That's going to bring Gumayusi over.
I was like, some sunk cost fallacy here for Afrika, Atlas, I think.
Right.
They were like, well, we waited this long, we might as well just all in on Faker, and his Zhonya's just outlast literally everything, allows T1 to punish. Now they have a man advantage for this Baron.
Well, Hook is going to connect there onto Carrier, but of course Carrier is okay with being hooked. That's a great Rune Prison onto Fly. He's denied the exit, but it's not going to be enough to get them out of the way of the distortion. Fly flashing.
Fly can teleport back in at full health, and then everything can turn around in an instant. But this is the sunk cost fallacy I'm talking about. You're 3 levels down here, so individually, in the time it takes Fly to come over here, which he uses his ultimate as well to get the double distortion on the Faker, it's still not enough. His Zhonya's last long enough, and now you lose Lucian. You almost lose Dread here. He's just barely able to get out of there with Fly giving him that taxi. But this is a huge moment, a huge opportunity and start this Baron, or at least you should.
Yep, they're going to. Immediately Vision goes down for
Harry
T1.
is back. It's no longer a 5v4. He's here.
Yep, the box comes in. Okay, so they have Vision. Can they actually get in there, though, is the question. Is that Realm Warp was not exactly where I was expecting it to be, but it might just be the end of Lehens, as it is going to be a trade of supports, but Keen's already dead. Leo has a whole lot of survivability, but just not enough.
And this pick, the Trundle pick, it's working out very well at denying Dread from doing a whole lot in this late game. He's just always under threat, and if he gets slowed or caught by a pillar, he just dies or has to use all of his cooldowns, and he's not useful for when T1 continue to push. The positioning from Owner has been really good in these splits here.
No, it's been fantastic.
Look at all the wards that Afrika have to commit.
Okay, that's a hook onto Carrier. He's going to die immediately. Fly tries to get in there. Gumayusi down to below half. I can't shake the feeling that maybe there's just going to be that flip as Dread. Okay, he's going to be able to take the Lantern out. Fly gets towards the side, but he has distortion to get himself out of the way. Fishing now with these pillars as Canna diving forward, looking for a little bit more. You can see Leo getting dove on. Great kickback onto Canna, but look at the damage. Faker finally able to get in there. Immediately pops to Dread. Now trying to get out of the way, and it's Gumayushi's turn to get the hard carry happening. This is going to be the ace, and T1 will just be able to march down the mid lane and finish off this game.
What a great end to this game for T1. Soars a little wide, but Fly.
The Super Mega Almost Rocket.
Press the attacks on him. Is he going to get out of here? Yeah. Looks like the answer is yes. He actually can go back too if he wants to, but the Nexus is going to go down.
Yep.
T1.
Some say that Fly is still running away from T1, but we will...
There you go. Let's take a look at the damage numbers here, because You could see Fly and Faker, not doing a ton of damage in this game because they both were kind of in the side lane. Fly was trying his hardest to get picks. It's really Gumayusi who carries, and Keen does a lot of damage, but a lot of it's ineffective. A lot of it goes into Keria shield, blocked a lot of that damage, and unfortunately...
Guys, this is Season with the POG interview translation, and we are here joined by the solo POG from the side of T1 Faker. T1 got their revenge on Afrika. How are you feeling? Afrika, they always get stronger when they're playing against us. I was a little bit worried about that, and they were strong today as well. But I'm glad that we were able to grab victory with the late game macro, comeback victory. So I think it means a lot to us. In game number 1, yeah, speaking of the macro, you guys were able to trade 3 turrets on the mid lane when Afrika Freaks was taking 1 Drake. And in the player comm, you were the one being vocal about that macro decision. I can't really remember that exact moment. You guys was able to get 3 turrets with 1 Herald. We were looking to fight the dragon, but we realized that the opponents were investing a lot of resources to the dragon, so we wanted to make a rotation onto the mid lane as a trade. In game 2, Keen was the first player in the LCK history to play Tristana top. Was that something T1 expected? Not pretty much. So in game 2, we kind of, didn't pay attention to the top lane, so it was really hard to play. Faker, what do you think of Tristana top? It looks fun. A lot of fun to play. And Tristana, yeah, something Faker also is really good at, so we're excited to see some of the new picks from T1 as well. But speaking of the draft, you played Rise 3 games in a row as blind pick. Tell us about the priority of Rise in your team. Well, it's based on our strategic, tactical kind of rounds, but other than 1-0 game these days, I only played Rise, so yeah, it's not fun, but that's what my team wants. I mean, T1 with Faker, a player who can, play something classic champion so well. I guess they do like to prioritize that Rise on the mid lane, but also we are very curious about that Trundle pick. This champion is very consistent, but still, he hasn't really made a lot of impact in terms of the gameplay. Tell us about this pick. Owner practiced, Trundle. Owner hasn't really practiced Trundle a lot, but after a few games, he became really good at it. So as a team, with that pillar and Jinx having more space to do damage, was so good. So we kind of wanted to try that. And also, we heard in the player comm, so Kana was saying Keen played so well, or rather, Minyoung played well, which is Gumayusi's Korean name. Which one was the right answer? I don't know, I think it was me. And T1 is extending the winning streak here in the LCK summer. And you are also picking up multiple POGs, and I guess the players are having a high spirit right now. Yeah, we are having a lot of fun while playing the game. We get to win more, and because we get to win more, we get to be more happy, So I guess we are heading to the we are having a bit of an upward flow inside of us, and right now all the players are doing a fantastic work. I mean, I got the POG today, but our bottom duo played the laning phase so well, especially Kana. Also, even though he has some hard time, in the top lane because of the champion matchup, or he was just having some hard time, but he still does this role perfectly in the later phase of the game. So I think every player on our team has been performing so well. And Faker, who do you think also deserves the POG or the MVP of T1?
기인형을 상대로
I think Hana, who did a fantastic work against Keen, you know, he was able to hold on and pop off in the later phase, especially on Gwen in the last game, says Nuclear. Your next opponent will be Leaf Sandbox, a team that performed so well earlier today.
리브 샌박이
I think
최근에
Leaf Sandbox
되게 공격적인
has become a lot more aggressive these days. And they prefer to take fights. And T1 as well is not a team that avoids fights, so I think it's going to be a very exciting matchup. And with this T1's additional victory, a lot of fans are also excited to see more from you guys. Any message over to the fans? We're almost the end of the summer split, so we will do our best in order to, you know, accomplish some result that our fans can be happy with.
축하드립니다.
And I'm gonna.
Thank you.